Unicorns, Eric Abram here, and welcome to another video. Look, I'm sorry I've been putting out videos like crazy because I've been busy, been doing things, and a lot of things going on in my life right now. So what I try to do is I try to put on, actually I posted a video that was from my Patreon. If you haven't already, go to patreon.com/uglyunicorns and subscribe there. But I took a video from one of my Patreons, me doing a portfolio review. And in that video, I will say I kind of dropped the ball a little bit. I didn't really show to show the screen because he was on his phone. And I was like, man, should I share my screen? I don't know, but anyways, the content's there, the information's there, the advice is there. So if you want to, check it out. If not, I get it. It's all good, not a big deal. But in today's video, I want to talk about just that, talking about portfolios, and I'm talking about people's portfolios who are probably more junior, even some seniors out there, but this is mainly towards the people who come out of a boot camp or people who are kind of new in the whole UX thing. And I just want to tell you that your portfolios, they suck. Yes, your portfolios suck. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Actually, it is your fault. Your portfolios suck. I'm gonna tell you how to make it better. So with that, with me being a jerk, so the reason why your portfolios probably suck is probably because you guys aren't looking at your portfolios as a thing, as a branding thing. Like, you got to position yourself a little bit differently than some of your either if you're in a boot camp, you're probably your other classmates or your other teammates or anything like that. You want to position yourself a little bit better than them, because most of the time people that come out of these boot camps, they have some of the same kind of looking work, and from what I've heard from like hiring managers and people who do interviews of portfolio reviews, that's one of the biggest complaints that they have, is that people's portfolios always intend to look the same. It's like, I don't know why, but it kind of is that way. So there's some boot camps out there that do a little bit differently. Springboard is one of those things that kind of do that, and so what they're trying to do is they want to try to help you get to a point where you can have a UX portfolio that you can use in order to start interviewing for jobs. But I do feel sometimes that they are too nice when they're giving their feedback on your portfolio, and then you come to somebody like me and I rip it to shreds, and you're like, yo, I thought my portfolio was magnificent, I thought it was great, but I'm looking at it from the lens of someone who is looking to hire someone, and what particular set of skills I know that they need to bring to the team in order for us to all be successful, and be able to kind of have that that autonomy and be able to maybe work on their own a little bit. Because the last thing we want is to try to handhold a designer. We don't want to handhold anybody. We want to give you the freedom and flexibility to go out on your own, fail fast, fail hard, and get back up and do it again and do it again. But what we don't want to do is coddle somebody, hold their hand along the way. At the same time, it's we need to be able to teach you, but we cannot be there at all times. We need somebody to come in and be fairly self-sufficient, I guess. And so with that, man, it's what I'm looking at is, whenever I look at someone's portfolio, I'm looking at it from a perspective of one, do they have a sense of presence about them? Are they human? One, or do they speak like a robot? Do they just use typical UX jargon in their portfolio when they're talking about different things? And also looking at, can this person even tell a story, right? When we're can we follow your portfolio from top to bottom? And it's not just the portfolio in the sense of just the case studies. The case studies, yes, you need to be able to tell a story, you need to have your research, but there's other parts of your portfolio that need to be buttoned up too, your about section. I want to know more about you. Are you a person? I always go back to is this person human? Because I look at some people's portfolios, their about section is hi, my name is plug in, my name is blank. I'm a UX designer that wants to solve problems and save the world or whatever bullshit. Like, yeah, we all want to solve problems. That tells me nothing. It tells me literally nothing about you. Like, I gotta pop my back. It tells me literally nothing about you. And I'm just like, yo, this person is either one, you know, not being genuine, or two, they're just not fun to want to be around, right? I want to work with people that I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have fun with this person. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna work together. I know a little bit about them. They know a little bit about me. And like, when you go to people's portfolios, you don't know shit about them. I don't know if you like soccer, baseball, football. I don't know if you like to go out to eat. I don't know if you have pets. None of that stuff. I don't know what your background is. Like, none of that. It's just almost, it's like you're not branding yourself properly. Like, you need to brand yourself. Like, you know, sometimes you maybe create a logo for yourself. You know, do something, marketing, do the YouTube channel, do something like get your voice, get your name out there, so that way you can set yourself apart just a little bit. You know, Ugly Unicorns, yes, like, yeah, it's a business. It's an LLC, it's an actual legitimate business here in Florida, but it's also part of my brand. It's also what I do. It has many facets to it. And I use it as a tool to help me get jobs, because people know, like, I'm not just a designer. I do a lot other things, right? So that's what I mean about, like, making it personable, making it human. Like, don't be robotic in your portfolio. And another thing is too, is like, yo, you gotta make it look good. You like, no shit, Eric. Of course it needs to look good. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how, like, some of these portfolios just don't look that good. Like, I mean, I've used so many portfolios where, like, you get to the home page and you immediately just want to bounce and go somewhere else. It's like, if I'm not even interested in looking at your home page, I'm probably not gonna get the best experience looking at one of your case studies. So with that, like, so if you have not written these down yet, this is what you need to do. One, make sure your portfolio it looks good. And two, make sure you write something and put some things about you on there that make you look like a person and not a robot. And so that's just like the overall portfolio landscape, but there are the case studies. Boy. Some of the portfolios, yes, but let's talk about the case studies for a second, because some of the case studies that I've seen, they're not. Some are good, and some are not so good. I'm not gonna say bad, but I just did. But some are not so good. And some of the common themes that I see within people who are new to this in their case study is just like, they don't tell a story very well. They don't frame it up. They don't frame it up really good. And what I mean by framing it up, I'm like, they're not like setting the stage enough. It's like, yo, here's our problem. This is how we fixed it. Like, okay, cool, but like, tell a little bit more about, you know, what we're gonna get into. Like, what was your process, and how did you know, what, like how can we follow along with you? And so that's something that I see is like most people are lacking, is like, you know, how did you get to this particular point in the research, or how did you get to a point where you create these personas, and where did the information come from to where you create this personas, and what like research did you gather to even create this persona? Some people like skip all that and just like, you know, this is the problem we solve. Here's a persona I created. Like, wait. How did you get to this? How do you decide that it's gonna be, you know, this particular person, this particular age, this particular location, and these attributes about them? Like, how did you get to that point? Like, you did something to get to there, but you're not showing it. So like, show, don't tell. Like, we need to see it, right? You could talk about it all day, but if I never get the chance to speak to you, like, you need to be able to show that and put that in your portfolio. Like, sometimes you need to put more in. Sometimes people need to take out some stuff. Sometimes people need to put less in. And so that's what I'm talking about. Like, being able to tell that story, frame it up so we can kind of understand and follow along with you, and like, what is your process? Because at the end of the day, like, that's what we need to see. Does this person have somewhat of a process to help them solve particular problems. Like, we all get it. We all understand that user experience is not linear. It's not like from here to here, right? It's not that. Sometimes it's like like this, freaking like you're juggling fire. That's what it feels like. You're juggling fire. You're doing that, right? We get that. But in your portfolio, you can't really show like this juggling of fire because it looks like a hot mess. So you got to take that juggling of fire that you just did and try to like rearrange it and put it in a linear fashion. Even if you didn't, some people might disagree, but even if you did not do these things in a particular, you know, order, which probably didn't happen, at least put it in an order of the new double diamond so we can kind of follow along. Like, you're not gonna be able to do like, you know, UX in this like super core UX. We're gonna do discovery work. We're gonna define it. We're gonna design it. We're gonna deliver it. Like, we get that, but like put it in that way so we can follow along with you, so you can tell that story just a little bit better. Like telling a story, you know, talking about the middle, then you know, saying what happened at the end, and then coming back to the beginning. Like, is this Star Wars? What are you doing here? Why are we doing this? Why are you telling the middle of the story first? Like, what are you doing? Who are you? George Lucas now? What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's all I'm saying. And so that's one thing. That's one thing is like being able to tell a story, framing it up, and showing like, do you even have a freaking process, right? And there's something else that I noticed is, you know, some people, they don't put enough details into the project, meaning like they don't provide enough like research about the particular project. Even if you didn't do the research, like somebody did it, right? Like maybe somebody on the team did some prior research, or maybe you had a researcher that probably did some research, and maybe you did the research, and maybe you went back and did some research. Like, put it in there. Like, we need to see some research, because like that's how you know, can collect like user data. It could be, you know, research that you got from Google Analytics that you pair with like talking to users, doing those interviews. It could be usability testing or whatever. Just something to help us, you know, understand like, okay, why did you make that decision? Like, is it just based off of like what you wanted or what you liked? No, grounded in some real data, grounded in some research. You know, I've done, you know, portfolios, reviews where like, you know, where did you get this? I would ask like, where'd you get that information from, and why'd you make that decision? And the last thing I want to hear is, you know, this is what my stakeholder wanted, or this is what my boss wanted, or this is what I thought. I'm like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear your personal input into this. It's like, personal input is very subjective. I get it, and it's malleable. It can move and fluctuate, right? But if you can bring in some concrete research and some concrete data to say like, okay, this is the reason why we did X, Y, and Z, I'm like, okay, cool. And then if your boss said, no, we're not going in that direction, at least you did your due diligence in providing that company with enough information to say like, look, this is what we have, this is what users are saying, this is what users are, this is their pain points, and these are some of the issues, et cetera, and this is how we can improve on these opportunities. And they still say no, that's not on you. I mean, as long as you pushed on it, it's like, I think we should go in this direction, blah, blah, and they're still like, no. There's probably some other issues that probably cause that. Maybe like there's like a business thing, maybe it's a monetary thing, or it could be like a business decision thing. Maybe they're gonna do it later, but like maybe it's an MVP thing, maybe it's a time, whatever, dev, whatever. But as long as you do your due diligence as a UX person to get that information in there, that's good for you. That's good on you. And even if you did the research and your boss and them didn't use it, like put that in your portfolio. Like let us know, like, we did this, we talked about it, they pivoted, they went this direction, it failed, then we went back, boom, now you're like freaking Clark Kent, bro. You got your suit and tie on, now you turn into Superman. It's like, oh, I told you so. But yeah, but don't say that. Don't be a jerk. And another thing that I noticed pop my neck again. My back hurts. Look, I went to jiu-jitsu the other day and my back is hurting, dude. My back was already hurting like 6 weeks ago. I went back and now it hurts again. I'm gonna go tonight. I'm just, you know, I gotta keep going, man. I gotta get the black belt, man. Probably another 10 years. 20 year student of jiu-jitsu. It's not that common. Actually, it's probably is common. But anyway. And so what I'm saying is, you know, being able to tell that story, and like the other thing that I notice about people's portfolios is, not that I'm gonna say this, they don't really show their steps to how they got to their final designs. So I'm looking at, you know, wireframe sketches, you know, mid fidelity, high fidelity, whatever. Like, how did you get to these pretty designs? Like, what was the steps that you would take to get to this point? And some people ignore those steps. Look, I get it. Sometimes I ignore all those steps, but dude, I've been doing this for a while, and I could do that, right? But if you're someone who's trying to put it in, if you're someone who's trying to get a job, right, and you're trying to tell your job like, yo, these are steps that I take to get to this point, I'm like, okay, cool. This person does their due diligence. They're methodical. They're doing their sketches. They're trying to work things out before they get the high fidelity. I like seeing that. Granted, I don't always do it, but I do want to see it. Mind blown, right? Like, dude, you don't even do it, so why do you want me to do it? I'm like, don't do what I do, just do what I say. Horrible advice. Sounds like something my parents would say. Shout out to mom and dad. Anyways, I do want to see those things. Like, I mean, I see a lot of people portfolios where they put in like the they put in the sketches, they put in like the gray like wireframes. Well, sometimes I don't know. I'm because I don't do it all the time, I'm a little more lenient on that particular portion, because sometimes I like to just go straight to like the gray wires, or sometimes I might go from like a sketch to a high fidelity, or straight to high fidelity, or a mid fidelity, just playing around. And that's kind of like how I use that. That's kind of my sketch, and I go straight to a high fidelity. You know, it depends, man. Sometimes to each his own as well too. But it's well too. Okay, English. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at, is like showing those steps in this process to get to those high fidelities, right? And this video is longer than I wanted it to be. We're gonna keep going though. We're gonna keep going. But so that's what I'm talking about. Taking those steps to get to those high fidelities. Next, we're gonna talk about the high fidelities. The elephant in the room. The thing that people tell you that you don't need, but what you actually need is that skill set. You need to be able to design, yo. Like, I see a lot of people's portfolios and their design skills are terrible. Terrible. And it's not a knock on them. It's not a knock on them. They didn't come from that background. They didn't go through 4 years of art school and design school. They didn't do any of that. But god dog, yo, if you're gonna get into this field, that is something that you're gonna need. A lot of people will disagree with me and say, like, look, you do not need to know how to design. Do not listen to that person. Defriend them on every platform that you know. Delete their phone number. Spam their email, put it in spam in a trash can, and never talk to that person again, because, man, they are lying to you. They are not telling you truths, man. That's all I gotta say. Yes, you need to have design skills. All this talk about, like, should designers know how to code? Should designers know how to do this? First of all, you need to know how designers need to know how to freaking design first. Like, bruh, like, what we talking about? Like, we're saying, like, oh, do designers need to know how to do JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Kotlin, Objective-C, Swift? Designers need to know how to freaking design first, bruh. Like, what we talking about? And that's what pisses me off, is like, we want designers to not focus on the design part. It's called UX designer. It's called user experience designer. It's called product designer. Like, we can't neglect the design part. Look, I get it. There are some people out there who just don't have the design skill set, but they can do everything up to that point. I get it. And guess what? We have not hired people because of that. Go figure, right? We have not hired people. For my past jobs when interviewing people, we have not hired people because they did not have design skill or design capabilities, or their designs look like 1996. Yes, it is true, because look, at the end of the day, when you are a senior designer, lead designer, whatever, you gotta be able to do all the things, right? And you gotta be able to like help and teach others to do all the things. Even as a junior designer, like even as a junior designer, if you even have that UI design skill set, dude, you can get a job pretty easily. Like, I'm not gonna say pretty easily, but it's gonna help a lot, because they're gonna say like, oh, this guy can design too, and they have a process, and they can tell a story, they can do a little research too. Okay, we can teach the other stuff, right? And that's what I'm saying is like, my back, I'm sorry. And that's what I'm saying is like, you gotta have design skills, guys. That's all I'm saying. Like, everybody that I do a portfolio review, whether that's through Ugly Unicorns or whether that's through like work or whatever, man, they are lacking the design skill set, and it takes time. I get it. It takes a lot of time. It's like, it takes a lot of time. It's gonna take more than 3 months, more than 6 months, more than a year to like, really try to refine their design skill set. I mean, I've been doing this since, man, how long have I been designing? If we include school, I've been designing since 2005. I'm not even gonna do the math. You do the math. Put in the comments, how long is that? From 2005 to now, that's how long I've been designing. And I'm still not that great, right? Because I gotta keep working on it, because things keep changing. Technologies keep changing. When I first found Photoshop, it was like Photoshop CS, bro. CS just came out. It had the freaking like, the PS with the feather on it. That's the first time I seen Photoshop. There's a lot of people who seen Photoshop when it was just Photoshop 8, 9, whatever. It just had a number next to it. It wasn't even a C-suite. Yeah, that's when I found it. Actually, yeah, C-suite. That's when I found it. I think, was it number 6? I have no idea. Anyways, blue feather, blue and green feather. Look it up. That's when I found it. No, was it Photoshop 2? Let me stop. I'll be here all day trying to remember this. But that's when I found design, and that's when I really started getting into it. So you can imagine somebody like me who's been doing it since 2005 versus somebody who's doing it since like, I don't know, 3 months ago. The skill sets are gonna be like this. It's gonna be night and day, and I get that. But how can we accelerate that to get to that point? Well, guess what? You're gonna have to sacrifice some stuff, man. You're gonna have to not have a boyfriend or girlfriend. You're gonna have to go outside. You're gonna have to like not go to the club that weekend, because you're gonna be in the house working on some shit. Like, that's what I did. I tell people all the time when I talk to them, like, yo, you're gonna be up to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning working on designs. Not to say like that's what you need to do, but that's the route that I took to get to where I am. And I come from like a formal design background. I come from art school, and I'm still up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm still on the weekend making random logos, working on Photoshop, Illustrator, even now working in Figma and XD and Sketch and all the. I don't use XD or Sketch. That's my past. I apologize, but I'm a Figma guy now until somebody changes my mind. You feel me? So, not a sponsor at all. And so, even to this day, like, dude, I'm constantly working on my design skills. I'm constantly working on my UX and my research skills. I'm reading lots of books. I'm doing tutorials. I'm going to like, you know, to meetups and conferences online. I'm still trying to absorb this knowledge. I'm still trying to get better with the design, even trying to get better with the UI design, because like most companies want that, but they don't tell you that they want that because they don't want to seem weird or whatever. But dude, you're gonna need it. You need it. You need it, and you need to do it now. Stop watching this video, pause it, but come back though and subscribe as well. Make sure you like the video. Pause it, come back after you've done like a few screens and a few designs, and then come back and watch the video again and tell me how you feel about it, and put it in the comments and tell me like, yo, Eric, taking your advice is XYZ. Try it out. Try it out. I challenge you guys right now. I challenge you that you design something every day for an hour. Every day for an hour, and then up it every day for 2 hours. You see where I'm going with this? Just try it. Just try it. Just try to design something every day for an hour and see how much better you get at using the program. Because a lot of people that do design, they only do design within the 8-hour window that they're at work. Not me. I do design at work. I get off work and I'm doing probably another 8-hour designs on my own, trying to do something. I'm trying to like come up with an app idea, come up with a website idea. I'm trying to improve Ugly Unicorns, or I'm helping somebody. I'm designing all the time, and most people would think like, oh, don't you get burnt out? Don't you get tired of it? Yeah, you get a little bit tired of it. That's why you have jujitsu. Got that medal right there, right? That's why you have outside things other than designed to like take your mind off of it. But at the end of the day, like, I'm trying to be the best I can be, like the Army Reserve. That's it, man. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be at this particular skill set. And that's what I'm trying to help you guys do as well. Is like, look, that's why I'm trying to give you all this information and tell you about all the things that you're probably gonna need and why your portfolios suck and your case studies suck. Like, one, your portfolio, it looks like a robot wrote it, and you need to make it more humanized. Like, put a little more about you, make it look good, make sure your case studies, make sure you have more than one case study. Because if you have one case study, it better be like you built Google, bruh. It better be the best case study ever. If you only have one, you need at least two, so we can like say like, okay, the first one wasn't a fluke. Second one did the same thing, consistent. This guy's legit. This person's legit. This girl's legit. Whatever. Don't just have one. Have at least two. And also, man, make sure you have these clickable prototypes in your portfolio, man. Like, show some interaction design, show some animation. Like, show how things work within the app too. It's like, yo, it's one thing to talk about it. Like, yo, we want to see a clickable prototype. I want to see shit flying around and context and moving things here. If you click on this button, it opens up and does this. Like, add some of that to that too, man. I want to see error states. I want to see focus states. I want to see your successes and all the other different things. I want to see that you understand how applications work. And I want to see how you deliver, make sure that people are getting that feedback. That's what's called interaction design. It's like you're interacting with the application. I'm getting very animated right now. I need to calm down. But anyways, that's why it's called interaction design, because person is interacting with your product. Because at the end of the day too, it's like people will assign human emotions to an actual product, bro. They would say like, oh, this application is stupid. I hate this. Like, why do you think it's stupid? It doesn't have a brain. Well, why do you hate it? Like, it never did anything to you. Like, why are you assigning these human emotions to applications? Because that's what humans do. That's what we do. So therefore, we need to make sure that we provide adequate feedback in the application to help our user understand where to go, how to get there, and if they fail, why and how they failed. Bruh, that's why you get people frustrated with your application, because they don't understand and they're assigning human emotions to it. So I want to see all those things in your portfolio. It doesn't have to be to like, you know, the super grandiose level, but like I want to see that you kind of understand it, and if we need to like, you know, implement that and do that you could do it, right? So that's all I'm saying is like, do those things that really help you stand out a little bit more. Because like, so let's say like person A has like everything that I just mentioned. They have the prototypes and everything like that. and you don't, I'm probably like, yo, this person understands user experience from inside and out, and this person kind of has like a top level, you know, understanding of it, right? So that's what I'm saying is like, that's how you can stand out just a little bit. Even if you have like a clickable prototype, whether it be in Figma, not a sponsor, whether it be in Protopie, not a sponsor, any one of those tools that can help you, you know, understand how the application moves and functions and interacts, do it. Try it, put it in there, change your freaking life. And one thing, and also, it's the learning curve. You're gonna have to learn how to do those things. And it's gonna help you just be a better designer at the end of the day. So I'm gonna close this video. I've been talking a long time, I've been very animated, and I hope you guys, you know, really like what I'm saying, really understand what I'm saying, and really take some advice from what I'm saying too, because I've been there, done that, seen that, all that shit, man. Like, this is just only gonna help you. It's a lot of work at the end of the day. Like, you're not gonna get to where you want to get to by taking the easy route or smashing the easy button, whatever people say. You're gonna put in some work. You're gonna have to learn some new things. You're gonna have to do some new things. You're gonna go back to some old things and refine those things. At the end of the day, like, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to get better at my motion design. I'm get better at my interaction design. So I'm trying to do all those things, and I do those things on the side. And guess who that helps? Me and the person who hires me. Duh. If I go out and better my skill set to be a better designer, when somebody hires me, they're gonna get a freaking superhero at the end of the day. Not a superhero, but you understand what I'm saying? I'm G-Thug, I'm a superhero. No, I'm just joking. Oh, here looking like a marshmallow in this white shirt on. Yeah, you gotta be able to have fun and make fun of yourself, man. But anyways, that's all I'm saying, man. Like, if you guys didn't take anything from this video, just know that your portfolio needs to be good visually, not just from a case study standpoint, but from like when I land on your homepage standpoint as well. I want to see that there's a person there. Don't just show a picture of your dog or a picture or animated, you know, illustration. Like, I want to see the actual you. And that's another thing too, man. Like, I hate to keep going on, but like, yo, I see some people's portfolios, bro, and they're like, they're like, their picture that should be like of themselves in human form is like an animation, or not an animation, or an illustration. I'm like, bruh, who is that? Who is that? I'm trying to Google you, bruh, to hire you. I'm trying to like find you on LinkedIn, and it's the same one. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't know who you be. It's hard for me. I need that human to human understanding, and that's it. But yeah, man, if you haven't already, make sure you like the video if you like what you're seeing. Comment, please. You know, talk to me about it. Yo, do you agree? Do you disagree? But yo, let me know. Let me know something. Do you like what I'm spitting? You like what I'm spitting? Riding and dipping, moving and ripping. Yo, I'm gonna stop right now. Music career coming out next year. Be on the lookout for that. Just joking. Don't do that. Let me know in the comments, man. Do you agree, disagree? But let me know, man. Let me know if you agree. And also in the comments, let me know that you have done some of this stuff that I'm talking about, and how has it helped you, you know, move forward and get ahead in your career. Like, just let me know. Put it in the comments. Yeah, man. Like, comment, subscribe. You know, do all the, you know, traditional YouTube things. And if you haven't already, go to uglyunicorns.com. Check it out. We got some cool gear there. We got some cool merch. Well, yes, we got t-shirts, hats, and shit. And also we have coaching on there. If you want to, you know, have me do a portfolio review of your portfolio, be ready to bring the tissues, because it's not going to be nice. I'm just that guy. I have no quarrels. Like, yo, I'm trying to make you be better, so whatever. But anyways, if you haven't already too, go to patreon.com/uglyunicorns. There's a bunch of cool videos on there. A lot of whiteboard challenge stuff. A lot of videos of other people, of me doing other people's portfolio reviews. A few videos on me working with someone else doing a whiteboard challenge. You can check that out and see how they work through the whiteboard challenge, and see how like I give them advice to improve it. You can check that out as well on patreon.com/uglyunicorns. And I think that's it. Is that it? Kobe, is that it? All right, guys. That's it. That's it. This video's longer than I want it to be, so we'll see. Anyways, guys, like I always say, Don't just be a unicorn, be an ugly unicorn.